Hi, I'm Kristin.
And I'm Joe.
I'm the better Merrill.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
So that's how we're going to start the interview.
Okay. Yeah,
we're firing shots.
But they've already been fired. I just had to find my moments to get
You
my
just had to reload. Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Well, we're known as the Merrills, 2 R's and 2 L's because
there's 2 of us.
Yeah. So
it's like you guys have practiced this,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
He makes me.
And Gabriel, you've got a pretty good joke going for us. You got a nickname for us?
Yeah, that would be Kroe. And I said it on the show. I said it yesterday. I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to have the Merrills on the show." And I said, "Actually, correction. I'm going to have Kroe." They're like, "Kroe?" I said, "Yeah, Kristin and Joe." Yeah, I said they might not like it, and in my mind, you guys are always Kroe.
Yeah,
you guys are always Kroe.
I love it.
Kroe.
Yeah.
OE.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So let's get right into it. The interactive class. We got another addition to it.
We did, yeah.
Probably
just brand
the
new for
final
FTC.
one.
Oh, stop it. So
Talk to us.
We just we're kind of at this point in education. We were talking in a session the other day that if you would have asked us a couple of years ago, post COVID, we would have thought like nothing could possibly been worse than that, right? Like there's so much digital fatigue that followed that. How could we ever imagine education changing as much as it eventually did do with AI? And so now we're kind of at this pivoting point where we need to kind of shake things up a little bit more again.
Yeah.
And educators are kind of in that same position once again. And so we felt very passionate about, even though all these new things keep trickling into the classroom, there's still some really important core elements of our classroom that need to stay in there. And creation is one of them. And so how can we encourage our students to remain being creative in the classroom, even though they're surrounded by all these new AI tools?
Yeah, I'm getting old too. And I think there's a little bit of a perspective of being in education. I mean, we have been in the classroom now. I've been in the classroom almost 20 years, right out of college, right? And so I know.
And you went from being on one end of the classroom to another. So you've been in education even more since 5 years old, probably.
Yeah. I mean, really, since I grew up, I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I talk about it in the first book. And so I spent no time, like I went to college, I got out of college, and so when I started teaching, it was all about, just the engagement and the fun and how to revolutionize the classroom, which I think is still wonderful. But now I think having been in the classroom for so long, this book has a little bit more of like a pedagogical feel without being like brainy and hard to read, right? Like I've reflected on all of the things I've learned and kind of we've put them together of like, we love technology. We are not saying you shouldn't use it. We also love creativity, and we love finding kids' talents and finding out who they are and how, and kids being represented in their classrooms and having that student agency. And so kind of like after all these conferences we go to, all these people we talk to and these cool things, the apps and the AI, everything's going to keep going. There's never going to be a time where we stop, right? Yeah. But what are those things that we want to always make sure are part of the mix?
Okay. So I'm going to take a step back. What is the new book title?
Called Creation in a World of AI. So it's underneath
it's the interactive class.
Creation in a World of AI. And so it's all about, fostering that love of creation, both in teachers and students.
And I love the glasses in focus.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's so hard because as creatives ourselves, it's very hard for us to find a balance of, okay, what does she like? What do I like? That idea is terrible.
It doesn't matter because whatever Kristin says is going to go.
You would think that, except when it comes to book covers. I did not get my book cover choice.
Well, either did I, because actually I sketched the one that I thought that it should be.
I was going to nix the glasses if you want a little bit of insider. I was like, I don't think we are known by the glasses. I think we're known by our, and a great good friend of ours who has given us a lot of advice over the last years, Ann Cosma.
Oh, Ann.
Was like, we asked her one day.
Over at Adobe.
Yeah, and we were like, okay, Ann, talking about design in Adobe, we were like, what would you do? If you were looking for a book on the shelf, what would you think it looked like? And she goes, I would have the glasses. And I was like, man, I lost that one.
Oh, man.
Mic drop, Joe Merrill.
So he gets, he's got the graphic design in him. That's his former love before teaching. And so He did get a little bit of a say in there, but I
Okay.
actually liked the Swifty heart hands. That's what I would have done. So I did the hands on the glasses, the AI, and the robot. I really wanted those to come together.
That design does sneak its way into the book, though, so you'll see that in there.
Kind of
So
create
Okay.
with heart
Little nugget.
is sort of how I'm signing it.
Got it. Okay, so I'm going to go back a little bit. When Kristin approached you and said, you know what, it's not you, but it was really Anne who kind of sold me on this idea. It wasn't you, Joe. It was Anne.
I'm going to be okay with that because it's Ann Cosmo.
Yeah.
So
did you just soak it in and just kind of sit back in the chair, or did you say like, I told you so? Or what was your reaction?
No, well, we were on the call with Ann, so I couldn't exactly do that.
Okay.
Oh, don't let him fool you.
In here, what were you doing?
He fully was like, see, I told you.
Well-
yes, I'm right. You lose. Like, don't let him
No,
fool
I
you. And
wasn't
then
like
Anne
that.
had no idea because we didn't tell her we were differing. And she was like,
So she realized I was
she
the
was
vote. I was the last
honestly
vote.
giving her opinion, which
Okay.
we always value. And I will never go
She
against
was
Ann
giving
Cosma.
us the correct answer is what
Oh,
she was
gosh.
doing. So
See, shots fired.
312. Shots
Yeah,
fired.
I- this is why I need to reload.
I didn't say
Constantly.
anything, but there was confetti coming out of my ears.
Okay.
So if that was any inclination.
Got it. Well, I'm going to give you guys a round of applause before we go any further because that's an awesome. I mean, this is book number 3 for you guys, right?
Yeah, and speaking of Ann Cosmo, she wrote the foreword too.
She wrote the forward.
So
Really?
when we were talking about the foreword, we're like, who should we reach out to? Who should we ask? We thought to ourselves, who's the most creative person that we all know?
Gabriel Carrillo.
Listen, on the list. But Ann Cosmo was very, very.
Well, her name starts with an A. So
Well, that's true.
You would eventually
Yeah.
got to me, but
Yeah.
I see it.
She
I
also
see
has
it.
come to visit us.
Oh,
like, she's a good-
just lighting fires all over the
she
place
is.
here.
She
Yeah,
is.
but
Okay.
that's something important for anyone, whether you're writing a book or you're designing anything, like really going back into like the things that inspire you, the connections, and like doing it
Yeah.
the way you want, right? Like
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
it the way you want, putting
way you
in the things
envision
you
it.
want, the way you envision it. And so she is just like a bubbly ball of creativity and fun.
Okay.
And her niece, we're still waiting on it. Her niece, Emery, was going to draw pictures of us and to put in the book. And then I think she got a little nervous about the quality of drawing and Emery, but we told Emery if she gets them done, we'd make them into stickers because we think that's an amazing idea.
you go.
But yeah,
Okay.
it was a fun.
All right. From beginning to end, from inception, the idea, from that seed to we officially have it in our hands and it's on the shelves. Time period.
You guess.
Well, okay, this is your third. Okay. It took me 2 years to do my first one. And I scrapped my first manuscript about a year into it.
So did we.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
On the first
conversation,
book,
right?
yeah.
Yes, it is with us too.
It couldn't have been more than a year because of how new AI is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with, and you guys have 2 kids who I also want to get to. I'm going to go with like 10, 11 months.
Okay, so what if I told you that we decided to write that book at ISTE last year?
Crap.
And we were
Are you
having
serious?
like a little bicker, and Jen Womble was in the conversation, and she looked over and said, I think that should be the title of your new book, and you should release it at FETC. So we went home from
6
ISTE
months.
and wrote almost the entire book in July because we were in the classroom.
Yeah, you're in the class. So that's
So
like your time.
full
We had to.
on just like June was very much travel for our family and vacations. We had one little blip in there, but we sat until like the first week of August and cranked that book out. Now we did have a little bit of vision because a lot of it is based on things that we present on and we talk about.
Okay.
So like assessment and pedagogy and agency. So at least we knew what we wanted to say. And because we had written before, we knew how they were going to want us to present it.
Yeah.
And so some of those, we did cut some corners there. But let's just say we're very thankful that we don't have any more of those emails coming in that are like, we need this back in 48 hours. There were
Yeah.
a lot of them.
Oh, boy.
And we had some really great friends like Anne, and we had Manuel
Herrera.
come in and just like, please, if you have any time, could you do this for us? And it just kind of all lined up and worked out. And we released it on the 1st, and our first box of books we got to bring here arrived 2 days before we got here.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So,
Talk
yeah.
about a photo finish, right?
Right?
Wow. Well, good. Congratulations. That's awesome. I
Thank
can't
you.
like 6 months is not a long
It
time.
was very hard.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm taking that back. That is very realistic because after I scrap my manuscript, and I know this is not about me, but I'm going to make it about me.
I want to hear about how your process.
My youngest son signed up for a basketball camp in Austin, which was about an hour and some change away from where we live. So it was a 5 or 6 day camp where I was going to drive him every day in the summer. In the morning, he had to be there like by 8 a.m. and then pick him up like at 10 p.m. at night. I was going to do that every day. And then my wife surprised me. Love you, Erica. Thank you for doing this, by the way. She said, I booked you guys a hotel, a nice one with an office for the entire week. And you are not coming home until that book is done. So you drop him off at the camp in the morning, you go back and you get it done. And
Smart.
I cranked the book out in a week. And I had already planned it. I had already outlined it and everything.
That's great.
And it was literally a writing retreat. And I did that. And I caffeinated up. I got the job done. And after that, because mine incorporates cooking and I did recipes and videos. So after that, it was like, I got to, film videos and edit and all that, which my kids helped me with and my wife as well. But yeah, I could see that. I could see sitting down and then when you're in the moment and you have that adrenaline and you came home from a conference like FETC here and you're invigorated, you're like, okay, we have this idea. You don't want to put the brakes on, right?
No.
And he has been talking about it for like a year. Like we didn't necessarily know a year ago it would be on AI, but he was like, we don't have anything where we talk about assessment. We don't have anything where we talk about our pedagogy. We don't have anywhere where we talk about agency. Like those things didn't fit. And like I said, I'm kind of old. Like those aren't the things you're thinking as a brand new teacher. Like, I can't just give my kids a test.
Just give me a tool.
Right, exactly. And so now as we've kind of gone back, we're like, we love the tools. But even here at the conference, we've been saying we're not like the 40 and 40 minutes kind of people. Like some of these tools we've been using for 10 years and we're going to keep telling you about them and just highlight those new features.
I think too, when you look at like all those things you were just mentioning, like, the agency, the pedagogy, all that stuff, it all lends back to creativity though and creation, right? And so, how are our students becoming, creators of the content rather than the consumers? We always say, creation over consumption. And so now more than ever, that's super important because with information so readily available, we have to teach our kids how to remain creative. It can be in different ways too.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be drawing a picture, right? I can do anything you want me to do on a computer, but if you want me to sketch it, it's going to look like a third grader, Well,
and ironically, so much of the AI that people are scared about, what I've kind of come to the realization myself as I've been talking about it and doing it with my kids is that the more you teach them to be creative, and let's say like we just did this morning in our session, like create pictures in Canva and how to take out a background and how, all of a sudden now we've got this picture with like Taylor Swift taking a selfie that was really with the royal family. Now it's in our room and look how easily we manipulated that picture. But when we teach the kids how to do it, that's where it clicks with them and they can identify when someone else has because they know the steps and they know what you can and can't do and they know what to look for.
Yeah,
and so
they know what to look for, that green glow around the character.
The only way that we can teach them to be safe in this AI is to teach them the AI because then like if I were to show that
concept.
Right, and I've been thinking about that since I've been here. Like my mother is 83 years old. Love her.
Yeah.
But if I were to show her that picture, now granted it's Taylor Swift, but if I were to take something a little bit different and manipulate it, she probably would believe it's true.
Oh yeah.
But she has no concept of how to do it. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's where we need to be thinking as EdTech educators.
And I'll say, so I made a hype video with AI for our Expo Hall tour, and it was supposed to be really funny, and it was really funny. And I showed it to our boys, and it literally took our son 0.2 seconds, and he's like, that's AI. And I was like, no, it's not. No, look, watch. And he's like, that's AI. I showed it to my mom. She's like, oh my gosh, how did you...
Either was basketball player.
No, that was not the right. It was me in front of a large crowd doing some kind of hype dance. I don't know. She's like, where was that at? And I was like, oh, that's at FETC.
And our son's like, no, it's
she
not
had
Grammy.
no idea. And he's like, and then but here's the thing. He's like, Grammy, it says AI in the top corner.
But it's
full
it's
transparency.
kind of scary thing. Like they don't, because they don't know how to do it. They don't even know it's possible.
The deep fakes, which is a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are like what, half an hour away from here or something like that?
Oh no, we're about 3.5 hours.
No,
wait a minute.
No. We're like 2.5 on a good day, but traffic in Orlando is not, it's just constant. So it's like 3.
Have you guys been to Mikato's Bakery?
No.
There's about 3 or 4 in town. So Let me get these out of the way for you.
What on earth?
So these are Colombian sweets. They're called quesitos. Some of them have guava. So the ones that have like that red, it's guava cheese with the flaky pastry crust. There's one that has powdered sugar, and they are just ridiculously good. So no, you can't have any. They're just for show. No, just kidding. No.
Just to
by
look
all
at.
means, by all means.
I will eat one, but I don't know if I should eat it while we're talking.
That's the whole premise of the
Okay,
show.
I'm totally gonna eat this one.
In
I
Orlando
had something
or
similar to this.
in ISTE,
in
we
Costa
had donut
Rican.
holes. Yeah. So
Oh my goodness.
I don't want to.
Would you like to try
one. You
mine?
want to share one?
Sure, we can share it.
Joe,
Listen,
don't do that. Don't be
I
that
didn't want
teacher.
to take all of yours.
I had that food tour last night. I've had
know.
more than
Well,
mine.
if I'd known you
fill.
wanted to share, I would have taken that one, but I've already touched this one.
Okay, so
I'm
what's
sorry.
this one?
It's like guava and cheese.
Guava and cheese.
Okay.
It's like a sweet and a savory.
Yes,
All
it
right.
is. So, okay, Joe, that's one of my pet peeves, man. Okay,
I
don't
didn't,
do this.
I didn't want to take them all.
Don't be
You
that
know,
person who
don't
takes
make-
half a donut
I'm
in the
gonna walk
lounge,
away with the
No.
box.
and then they come back.
No, he does. No, he doesn't take half a donut. He just, if there's like the last donut, he won't share it with you. He won't
Okay.
break it in half.
Yeah.
He'll eat the whole thing.
I can respect that.
I don't share food
He doesn't share food.
Yeah,
or drinks. That's more important.
Okay, so my mother, may
This is
she
yummy.
rest in peace. One of my little hangups with her was we'd go to dinner, and what would you like to order, Mom? What would you want? No, I'm fine. I'm not going to order anything.
Nuh-uh.
I'll have a little bit
What?
of yours. And I was like, I plan on finishing every bite. What would you like to order? No, I'm just going to have a little bit of yours. I wouldn't say it, but in my mind, I was like, I want it all. Like, it's just,
No, he'll say that.
Oh, yeah.
I needed
sure.
a drink yesterday, and he was pouring his drink into a cup, and I tried to take some, and he was like, "What are you doing?" It's like I'm having a drink.
No, you try to be sneaky about it.
Because
yeah.
you
You
don't
waited,
share.
you waited until I turned my head to talk to somebody, and then you slid it out and then tried to swipe it.
but you caught it.
absolutely,
but you
I
caught
caught
and
that.
I drank
yeah.
it.
Okay. All right, Joe.
Yeah, I
Pretty
like
good,
it.
right?
It's good.
Okay. So, the old record collection.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I knew this was going to be
What do you-
a
what do
point
you
of
do
One of
later?
his
contention.
favorite
What are you doing
record stores
later?
is here in Orlando.
That's
really?
right. Yeah, no, it is.
Okay.
Park Avenue Records.
Do they ship? They do.
Do
They
you know
do.
what else the trick is, though?
Oh.
Joe always travels with a empty cardboard record mailer in his suitcase. So we can go to different record
Got
stores,
it.
Yeah.
and then he can stick it in and it'll survive the trip.
I never thought about that. What is it called?
It's actually Park Avenue CDs, but I love it because even through COVID, they were doing this. They would highlight. I think it's Wednesday they do it. They
That's today.
It is today, isn't it? Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So if you're on Instagram,
Kristin's like,
if you're on Instagram, watch for it because they do like it's called Wild Wax Wednesday, and it's like some of the best records that they've gotten in throughout the week, and they just flip through them real quick, and you can check them out. Yeah, it's really really cool.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah,
You guys
I
could
gave
go.
my son my record collection, and we got him. I think it was last Christmas, a year and a month ago now. We got him a record player,
Nice.
and that sound, that's just that warm sound you can't replicate.
There is something. There is something you cannot replicate about it. And I don't have the collection he has, but I do have a few.
Yeah, it's all good until you bump it, right?
Well, yeah, that's true. I don't the pops and the snaps and things.
Yeah.
Those don't bother me at all. I'm not an audiophile guy.
Yeah.
Like I like my music to be rough.
Yeah, a little rough on
And,
the edges. Yeah.
and so that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. Like I don't bother cleaning my records or anything like that.
But he does
okay.
put it in
But-
plastic sleeves. I don't know if everyone does that.
no, I didn't. I
that's a
protect
must.
them.
Yeah.
I protect them. I
Yeah.
just didn't say I clean them. So.
Yeah, the integrity of the actual.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, do you have them in alphabetical order?
These
Oh.
so this was quite the debate actually. That yes, they are in alphabetical order, but Kristin does have a section that she goes to frequently. That
Do you want
she
to know how
pulls
big
from.
my section is?
How big?
Well, it's
Okay.
It's all of
Okay,
our
That's
records.
Do
about
you know-
10 to 12.
Yeah, and do you know how many expedite squares we have?
Are we talking the IKEA?
Yeah,
At least 28 downstairs.
Okay.
And I get this much,
You get that much? You get a fraction of one.
28. No way.
probably.
There's what 6 in each one of those.
There's 8. Well, if you get the rectangular one, there's 8.
8 times. Let's not do this math right now.
8 times 3 is 24, and then I counted your space upstairs, which I didn't even tell you got 2 record players.
Oh man.
I'm right. And then he
Yeah.
has so many records that some have to sit next to the record player because they don't have
They
a
don't
shelf.
fit.
Oh no, those are just ones that we've been listening to that I haven't put away yet.
The recent.
And
yeah,
he
yeah.
has a big catalog on his computer of all the records too.
Do you have it in Notion?
What's Notion?
Whoa.
Bam! Look at that. You got something new.
Okay, I'm actually doing a 2-hour workshop on it tomorrow from 10 to 12. So it's a
What room?
S320 or 330.
What
something
time?
like that.
What time is it?
10 a.m. 10 to 12. So, and this is, I'm going to make it about me. My session is for instructional coaches on how to maximize their efficiency and effectiveness with a workflow and project management through Notion. And I built a mock school district in a Notion workspace that is the Simpsons and Family Guy universes. So,
nice.
Springfield Elementary, Springfield Middle School, Seymour Skinner is the principal, and it's no joke. So Katie Fielding from Book Creator, she uses Notion at Book Creator to catalog everything.
Oh, okay. I might have to look into this more. So I might be
it's a
hitting you up.
database. It's basically a database.
Yeah. No, I just use
with AI features built in.
We'll see this. That's something that I probably need.
That'd be cool.
Here's the thing. Like I for a long time, I used a website that I won't mention because then they went down and I've lost the whole list. You know what I mean?
Man.
So then at that point, I just started a Google form or not a Google Doc.
The
sheet,
probably a sheet. And I just maintained it there.
Okay.
But Discogs is another website that we go to and that has stuff on there. And you can add to your collection there. But again, I don't trust anybody now. So I'm
So the reason I like Notion is they have an AI feature built into it. So at my particular job, I might have 100 projects that I've checked off kind of thing and coaching cycles. But then I can go in and say, I remember I worked with Kristin Merrill. I don't remember the coaching cycle. I don't remember the date, but I remember I don't remember the goal, but it was what this teacher needs.
Yeah.
What was the goal that I worked with Kristin Merrill? It goes through my database. Not only will it find it, but it will actually tell me, hey, this coaching cycle happened on the 8th of October here, and here was the coaching
awesome. We
goal.
need that for ours when we go speak and stuff, because we'll be like, do you remember, this is me. I'm like,
I
okay,
have all my
so we were sitting in this room and it was on the
sessions.
left side of the hallway and it had the TV there and the present, and he's like, what does it look like? I'm like, I don't know, but
Where
I know.
was it? Was it FETC 2025? So you can tag stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a database of all
We need
the
to check that
sessions that I've done.
I'm going to hit you up for that.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
You go to the session if you
I'll
can
send
make
you
it.
I'll send you my Venmo. We can take care of that.
That's absolutely. We'll go to the record store.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Pay him,
be
you can pay him
awesome.
in a record.
There we go. I like that. So, all right. How can people find the book, connect with you guys, and learn more?
Okay, so obviously you can just go to Amazon or maybe even Barnes & Noble or something if you just want to buy the book and ship it. And if you do read it and you like it, I'm going to selfishly say leave a review, because honestly, that is one of the number one ways when you're writing books that really help the authors out. It helps me out.
I don't have one review on Amazon.
Yeah.
It makes me sad.
Yeah.
We'll go take care of that.
We're
right?
going to take care of
done.
that.
Sounds good. Okay.
And then if you're looking to buy multiple books, for a book club or for a school, contact us, because we can do much better pricing directly with our publisher.
Got it.
And save you a lot of money. So
Okay.
I would say that would be, or if you ever see us, we might have a copy on us too.
And if you're listening or watching, don't even worry about Googling it or going to Amazon. Just click on the show notes, and the link in the show notes, I'll have to link there. That way you can directly go to the website and
I'll
order.
say it's all on our website too,
Perfect.
and our socials and any of our handles and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much.
Thank you too.
This
But I
was
do
so
have
fun.
I have $1 million question for you guys.
Let's do
Okay,
it.
let's do it.
Okay. Most difficult question you're going to be asked the entire conference. You ready?
Ready.
Corn tortilla or flour tortilla? Go.
Flour.
Flour.
Okay. All right. I respect a good flour tortilla. I'm team corn though. So
I can see that. I can see that. I almost ordered something
What
last
am I
night
missing?
with a corn tortilla.
what are you missing? Well,
Corn's a little drier for me. That's why I tend to
is.
go flour.
corn doesn't have gluten. If anyone out there has
Yeah, I knew
celiac, and then also there's zero fat
Really?
in corn, because flour tortillas are usually made with lard
I
or
would've
some
thought-
sort of fat or butter.
I would have thought it would have been the opposite. I